the Miami Dolphins. Come on, man. Y'all gotta be ashamed of yourselves at some point, right? At some point, this man then had the guy his head slammed on that, and those are the worst right there.
Man, that flat on bang.
Because there's no protection. No, you're not landing on your elbows, nothing, nothing like that. At what point in time are you gonna not get up there as a coach or as a ownership group GM and say, okay, we got, even if you're gonna bring him back next year, just for optics, we got to shut you down. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, the one thing about concussions that I've learned is, like, if you come back too quick, you're going to get them more readily. So he needs some time off. I mean, what else needs to happen, man? I mean, in all seriousness.
Well, I mean, do you really think that the people doing business
they
are
don't
now
care.
going to stop doing business?
No, but I'm just saying. I mean, at some point in time, it's like you got to stop because you messing with this man. I mean, first of all, if I'm Tua, I'm shutting down.
Well, he's young, and he got substantial protection financially in his first deal.
So, how was that?
Well, he got some really good money, and he actually took out that Lloyd's of London.
Right, but the more you come back to play, it don't matter.
Well, that's really my first question to you. If you're the family, do you become louder about it, or
it's hard right now? You're in a catch-22. Nobody around him was advising him on his best interest. And I get it. You're in a catch-22. You want to prove yourself. You got a new coach. You want to prove you're a franchise quarterback. Everybody's doubting you. You were really good. In the offense, it was at some times during the year was extremely successful. Mm-hmm. But 3 bad concussions in a year. I always say, like, there's different ones. I've had, like, many ones where you kind of, like, and if you know your body well enough, you can kind of dipsy-doodle around to, like, what you can and can't withstand. But he's unprotected, and it seems like he never climbed no trees because he don't know how to fall or nothing. Well, he be getting just body slam.
What would your father say?
He probably looked me in the eye and well, first of all, he's gonna be there and try to see where I'm at physically,
right?
But he's gonna look out for me before playing football. But he's in a catch-22 because he's on the cusp, or would be on the cusp, of getting a huge deal.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's pigeonholed into the corner that any team in the future, it could be 5 years from now, and they'll still talk about it. I mean, Carlos Carrera signed 2 major deals, and they still talking about an injury he had in the minor leagues.
Yep.
Right? Dude won 2 or 3 World Series and just set it off in Minnesota. So for him to have concussions and plus with the NFL not fulfilling their, I guess, promise or the lawsuit, there's a lot of moving parts into his decision. Could his decision to keep playing affect the lawsuit that's been going on for almost a decade? Could it be something that could lead to death for him? I don't know if he has any kids. I don't know if he has a girlfriend or wife. I mean, these are decisions that he has, let alone you see quarterbacks out there. I mean, whether it's Jimmy Garoppolo, whether it's the guy that got hurt. Who was the guy that got hurt out of San Francisco? All these guys getting these
Trey Lance.
Trey Lance can't play a lick. So he's on the cusp of getting a 200 or 300 million. Russell Wilson got $250,000. Now they'll be like, okay, well, yeah, we'll pay you year by year with him. So now the Miami Dolphins are essentially using him, and then we'll discard him when then they'll just like, oh, he's just not good enough. How can you be good enough when you out, like, you half dead out there?
You could see the quality of play go down. You saw the decision making, before they even said this dude is concussed.
He was a totally different player since that. He threw the ball to number 31, and 31 was just running like a clear out route.
Yeah.
That's not even in their offensive play.
Yeah. I kept thinking, man, this has to be hard to watch for the parents. But you talked about the business side. The Dolphins, who haven't been to a playoff in 6 years? since I think 2016 maybe.
Where's Jake?
2016 to at least 2016,
where,
right?
Where is Jake? We talking about where is Jake?
Well, I talked to Jake last night.
Yeah, so did I. I talked to him all weekend.
His fear, like immediately, he's like, "We're cursed. We're cursed. We're not allowed to have good things." I'm like, "Well, first of all, if the fan base isn't worried about your player, that might be a sign.
That's probably why y'all in
that might be a sign that you were more concerned about
Jake
the playoffs."
already up there talking about Tom Brady and trying to get Aaron Rodgers and a new coach. Dog, you eight steps ahead.
I mean, if they win a game, I mean, they got 2 winnable games on the schedule, right?
They ain't winning no more.
You don't think they win at all?
If Tua ain't playing, they ain't winning. And if Tua playing, they ain't winning.
But isn't that kind of the statement that this isn't a Tua problem?
The defense has been playing like garbage.
Right. This is not just like Denver. Denver is not a Russell Wilson problem. They got some real problems.
They got first of all,
the coach.
Russell Wilson is 90% of that problem.
You think that much?
Yeah, and first of all, I've never heard of a quarterback having an office at the stadium. Never.
I'm trying to think.
Never. So the people that have made the decision, whether it's the GM, John Elway, it's partly on them. It's partly on Russell Wilson too, because a little bit of me thinks that he was never the guy in Seattle. Legion of Boom, Bobby Wagner, and then Marshawn Lynch came back for his swan song, and so it seemed like Russell Wilson eventually plucked all those guys off. Got rid of them, right? Thomas, the safety, he's been hurt. All the the one safety that came over from the Jets, all these guys. Earl Thomas is gone, but then the other safety came over from the Jets that got hurt.
I actually thought it was Pete Carroll. Like, I wanted to give Pete Carroll more credit.
It was Pete Carroll up there, but he managed a lot of those personalities, especially on defense. But Russell Wilson never was the guy. Yeah. He had a great year last year, and he was almost traded that previous offseason. But then it seemed like when he got to Denver, he felt like, this is my chance it's all about me. And he's just gone way too far.
Do you think some of that happened in Tampa as well with Brady?
No.
You don't think that Brady took on quite a bit more than he had to in New England?
No, I mean, Russell Wilson's a personality. Brady, his play has slipped a little bit, but look, they got one of the worst offensive lines in the league. Leonard Fournette is definitely 15 to 20 pounds overweight. He's slow.
It looks different.
He's slow.
It looks different.
He don't even run with the power that he had, because he always had that kind of, go to 45 degrees. And once he decided to go, he had just a different look. He's slow. Mike Evans looks slow. Julio Jones is just a shell of himself. And Godwin's coming back from injury, and Gronk's gone. That offense is hard to watch.
Well, Denver leads the league in folks on the injury list. Like, they've got 27 players on
Russell
the
Wilson list. And Brady's missed some throws. No, granted, Brady's got some other stuff.
I mean, he's also 45 years old.
But Russell Wilson
plays into it.
But think about it.
But
in quarterback years, Russell Wilson is older because he's done more with his body in the NFL than Brady did.
Brady played fine last year. He played really up MVP level last year. Don't have no weapons. Ain't nobody getting open.
Yeah.
Now, granted, he's missed some easy throws. Do I think he's as dialed in as he has been? No, you can see it on his face.
Well, he got other stuff going on.
He got other stuff going on. Which, you know what, guys? Guys understand that in the locker room, and that's why you see the respect he's given. The reason why Denver don't respect Russell Wilson, because he ain't earned it.
Yeah, he's a weird dude too.
But he ain't earned it though.
Yeah. That's
so. Guys in the NFL, you getting paid your contract, right? But when you get inside them walls, you got to play.
Yeah, you can't fake it. You can't. Well, Derek Green just said you can't fake being normal, and it's a real thing. And I think that's kind of played out.